Bring in our senior correspondent, Ayodele Ozugbakun, to discuss the local government elections in Lagos and Ogun State, but we'll be starting with Lagos. It's good to have you.
Thank you for having me,
TVC News, Ayodele Ozugbakun. I'm sure you've been monitoring the election.
Yes.
And you've seen all those polling units with, scanty voters. And in some others, the reports are that LASEC officials are delaying. How do you receive this news?
According to the number of registered voters in Lagos, 6.5 million people. Whatever is going to happen at the end of the day today, they're going to collate it together, and we're going to see the percentage out of the 6.5 million people will be coming out for this exercise. Quite unfortunately, there has been a kind of downward trend since 2015 in participation of election in Lagos State. When you check the statistic in 2019 general election, the presidential election, it slided. When you go to the governorship, it was abysmal. I think less than 2 million people decided who became the governor of Lagos State across political parties. We have 15 political parties participating in this, and Lagos State is meant to show strength with 6.5 million registered voters in Lagos State. Lagos State is meant to be number one, number two in the entire 36 states. If people are aware, if people are interested, if people are expecting something from this government, the turnout will be quite encouraging. But level of awareness from LASEC, almost zero. Level of expectations from people, almost zero. I don't know how connected people are to the local government again, but what the analysts and some people just noticed in this exercise, it's like a party thing between the All Progressive Congress and some followers of other political parties that have stakes in wards and some other local government. But when you are talking about people really coming out, people are at home, they're watching movies, playing football, people are at home.
And that's it, Ayo. Voter apathy is staring you in the face in this election.
Yes.
And the Deputy Governor of Lagos State is, given an explanation of what he believes to be the reason. He says local government elections are peculiar, not quoting him copiously now, that people usually come out in the afternoon. And the senator representing Lagos Central, Senator Tinubu, says, voter education is inadequate. Do you agree that these reasons, are the factors responsible? I
don't agree with the deputy governor that, that it should take afternoon. In fact, the weather is hot there. So if you don't have any serious business to do out there, it's better you come out in the morning. No, at the end of the day, when you look at 6.5 million registered voters, when you look at the number of people that we counted this exercise, I don't see LASEC recording 3 million voters. As in terms of turnouts, I don't see that. I doubt if they're going to return 2 million.
So why
in the entire Lagos State.
At home?
There's this kind of disconnect between governance. There's this kind of disconnect between the local government that's meant to be the closest tier of government to the grassroots. There's kind of disconnection between the people and this local government. As of yesterday, people were just hearing information that, there's restriction of movement. Somebody even told me that, restriction of movement to do what? I said there's local government election because persons don't even aware that there's election. Not to talk about going to their polling unit to go and vote. People you find in the polling unit today are people, party stalwart, party chieftains and everything. And the only political party on ground seems to be the All Progressive Congress. Go around Lagos, look at billboards, look at everything. But we spoke on Journalist Hangout, we spoke with the chairman of the People's Democratic Party, and Ayodele Ozugbakun confirmed that they are participating in this exercise. But
why haven't they been campaigning?
I don't know.
There are more APC posters.
I don't know.
PDP
listen to
posters.
Jingles, newspapers, billboards everywhere, littered with just as if it's a one-party state thing. As if they know the fate. But if you check the trend, that's why people have been calling for this kind of reform in terms of the State Independent Electoral Commission, that INEC should take over that responsibility, because states that have been conducting this election before now, it has been like 100%, 100 over 100 thing. For in terms of chairmanship, they could just look for councillorship 4, 5, 6 and just give it out to the other political parties. But in terms of real transparency, I'll tell you that part of why the turnout is low down, people might have lost hope in the system, that the State Independent Electoral Commission might not be able to adequately carry out this responsibility.
We'll talk about the competence of the State Independent Electoral Commission shortly, Ayo. But let's look at the other statement yet again by Senator Remi Tinubu that voter education is low. And there's always this argument during election about whose responsibility it is to educate the voters. But you and I know, how much goes into elections, how much political parties raise during elections, how much forms cost. Don't you think that a good percentage of those funds should also be channeled into voter education?
We have over 300 people jostling for councillorship seats and 20 local government and 37 LCDs. We have party structures. They have their ward level, they have their local government level, they have state level thing, and they have a way to that they mobilize them. I'm not aware, I don't know how much was collected in terms of forms and the revenue, but I know that's quite expensive. They had a primary, the primary election, and quite rancorous. And some people are even saying that, other political parties that will be participating in this, at what cost? As in 15 political parties are penciled down to participate in this exercise, and according to the senator representing Lagos Central, she said just two in our own parties. So we just assume that will be Koyi Obalende, that two political parties will actually participate in this election. And
hold the thought, Ayo. We have Ademola Lawrence, our correspondent. Ademola Lawrence. Ademola, I believe you're in Surulere.
Exactly.
Yes. So bring us an update. What's happening now?
Okay, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, just finished casting his vote, and of course a lot of entourage came with him here in Surulere. Of course, Ward 008, polling unit 017 in Masha, and of course it's interesting. When he came, the card reader was faulty, so he had to sign the from EC8 form, the EC8 form, to make sure that he's able to perform his civic right. He was quite disappointed for him. He expressed his disappointment over that that the card reader could not work, as at the time he came in to perform his civic duty. But above all, looking at Surulere and the environment, it's been quite peaceful. But at the same time, the low turnout of voters is very alarming.
So, Demola, we can see the background, of your location, and it's not busy at all. So, can we conclude that right now, voters are not arriving?
Okay, it seems we want to start, getting a bit rowdy now. We want to start getting a bit rowdy here, where the speaker just left here, and he's getting a bit rowdy here at the speaker's polling unit. And I can tell you, you can see all of them over there. He's getting a bit rowdy. The speaker just left here, not quite a while now.
I know it may be difficult for you to establish the reason for the rowdiness that is brewing, but perhaps if you could hazard a guess, because it started in a spontaneous manner while you were giving the report, but if you can hazard a guess about why the crowd was gathering and began to argue. Ademola Lawrence, are you still with us? Ademola Lawrence was reporting Surulere, the ward where the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, cast his ballot. And just as he wrapped up his report, the scene began to become rowdy. We couldn't establish the reason for that emerging uproar. But we'll continue with our correspondent, our senior correspondent, Ayodele Ozugbakun, on the local government elections in Lagos. Ayo, you were talking about Senator Remi Tinubu's discovery that the ballot paper she used to cast her ballot had just two political parties, and we were trying to establish you know, the reason for low voter education and awareness?
Yes, when you look at it, some will obtain the voter card because of what she said, that, oh, when you want to get employment, when you want to have anything to do with government, if you're a major contractor with Lagos State, if you want to get access to any amenity in Lagos State, you'll be asked for LASRA, your voter's card, and some people just collect these cards to fulfill all righteousness. They don't collect it so that on election day they will turn out. No. In fact, it's even, the general election, it's even better. The local government election is what we've been talking about now. In the last, I covered 4 years ago, covered 8 years ago, and it has been downward. If I come back, yes, downward slide. And if we were able to get the result now, we'll be able to do a kind of comparative analysis, what it was 4 years ago, what it was 8 years ago, and what we have now. But from what I saw today, was no, it was a no thing now. And even talking about party structure, the All Progressive Congress, even if they mobilize members of the All Progressive Congress in Lagos States, if they mobilize them very well, the turnout will be more than this. What I witnessed when they were doing their, what do you call it, registration, party registration thing. I went around some polling units. I saw more people than what I saw on local government election day. That means the mobilization was not even enough part of the ruling party. Talking about the People's Democratic Party, I have not seen.
But the political parties could have embarked on media campaigns and, you know, awareness, providing assurance that there will be safety, there will be security for the electorate to come out and vote.
Don't forget that these other political parties in Lagos State, that they've never been in government. There's been the kind of monopoly since 1999, from AD to ACN to APC. It has always been this one political party, and the other political party don't have the financial wherewithal. They don't have the structure across
would you
the
say
state
the PDP doesn't have the financial wherewithal?
The PDP, they're out of government. Then when they used to be at the federal government, as at that time they could still get assistance from the central government and everything. But what I'm saying now is, I just see a PDP that is participating in this election for the sake of participation, not participating to win. I'll be shocked if any council, maybe any of the local council development areas, is taken by the candidates of the People's Democratic Party. It will be a big miracle. Oh,
wow. All right. We want to thank you, Ayodele Ozugbakun, for coming on TVC News. Thank you very much. We'll bring